You've probably heard it over and over. Learn to code, master AI, or you'll be left behind. But here's the truth. That's a myth. The most valuable AI roles aren't going to the people who understand the detail of how models and AI works. They're going to the people who understand business problems and how to solve them. I'm Matt, and I lead global teams that design and deliver enterprise AI solutions. Over the years, I've built and hired some of the best talent in the industry. In this episode, I'm sharing what we actually look for when building AI delivery teams beyond the hype. I've spoken to a few folks lately who are keen to get into AI, and they're convinced it all starts with learning how models and neural networks work. And I told them the same thing I tell you now. The most valuable AI roles will go to people who understand business, people who know the difference between a good process and a broken one, and who can spot gaps in customer journeys and know what success really looks like in their industry. In this video, I want to show you why you don't need to be a machine learning expert to shape the future of AI, and how the skills you already have might be far more relevant than you think. Someone said to me the other day, it's the graduates who are going to suffer. AI will just do their jobs. But that's not true. Graduates will simply learn different skills than we did. That transition will happen just like it always has. I've been in the tech industry since the late 90s, so that's over 25 years of watching the landscape shift, from client server to the internet to mobile revolution to the cloud. And each time I've seen people worry their skills are becoming obsolete, only to ultimately evolve, adapt and thrive. We're more resilient than we realise, but the people who truly succeed are the ones who look for the new opportunity and stay open to learning. Today, I lead a regional AI delivery organisation for one of the world's largest enterprise technology providers, an AI hyperscaler that powers global businesses with platforms, cloud and productivity solutions. Now, for those of you who don't know me, I will leave you to guess who that is. But the teams I've built and continue to build reflect what I'm going to share with you in this video. And we're seeing incredible success. Some of you may have heard of Andrej Karpthay. He recently said that large language models are becoming like operating systems for intelligence. I love that analogy. And think about it. In the tech industry, how many people really understand how Windows or Linux work under the hood? You don't need to, because we build on top of them. And that's the same shift happening now, moving from traditional machine learning engineers who build large language models to AI engineers who build solutions on top of the LLMs. So let's explore what's actually important, which skills matter, and which ones don't, and how you can shape your career in the era of AI, especially as we move into the world of process-centric agentic AI. So firstly, the shift. We're moving from coders to connectors. As agentic systems grow in complexity and autonomy, the need is shifting away from model builders and towards business systems shapers. The future of AI isn't just technical, it's deeply human. It's about understanding context, showing empathy, and making sure the technology aligns with real business relevance. So what does that mean in practice? It means knowing the difference between a system process, like the one shown here that defines how a system works with a workflow that authenticates, processes a request and data, and then emails confirmation, and the business process, the actual steps a company takes to deliver value to its customers or end users. The example here showing order fulfillment from intake to shipping a product, agnostic to the technology. This describes how the organisation does business, not how the underlying technology works. It means being able to define a business objective, like reducing churn or increasing margin, and understanding what the outcome looks like in measurable terms. It means being able to build a cost-value model that justifies investment, not based on hype, but on where AI genuinely improves time, cost, quality, or experience. It's also about managing large-scale adoption and change into an organisation. These are the skills that matter most in the AI era. You really don't need to know how backpropagation works in neural network training or memorising token limits or tweaking loss functions, because shaping agentic AI isn't about tuning models, it's about tuning business systems to deliver value. And that's where people with domain knowledge, business process experience, and a deep understanding of real-world pain points will thrive. Now, the real opportunity is for generalists with industry insight. The most valuable roles in AI today are going to be people who understand the business, who know the processes, can identify where AI fits and where it shouldn't. If you've got a background in consulting, operations, service design, or business architecture, you're already halfway there. The skill shift is clear if you look at the three main types of organizations: big tech, consulting, and industry. Now, where would you hire in these spaces in the context of agentic AI for each type of organization? If you're in big tech or an AI startup, the instinct is often to hire deep technical talent to build platforms and products for others to use. But if your goal is to actually deliver AI-powered solutions, you need people who understand how industries operate, with the domain knowledge to apply AI meaningfully to real business problems. That typically shifts towards the vertical solutions, services or consulting space, where you need a combination of both. Too many people in the consulting and vertical solution space focus on the technology and not on the business problem. I see this over and over again, even before AI arrived, and it's the most common reason for failed delivery. Problem space and solution space. You need to understand the problem you're solving for before designing the solution. Folks tend to try and go straight to solutioning before understanding the problem. On the other hand, if you're not in the tech space, but broader industry, but want to build an AI-enabled organization that benefits from these technologies, your focus shouldn't be on deep AI expertise. It's not your business. Instead, you need to deeply understand the business problems you're trying to solve for. Your business teams will be key to spotting opportunities, working with others who understand the tech, when you fully understand what you need to build to deliver the value or solve the business problem. What this shows is that outside of building the AI platforms themselves, success depends on people who understand the business and how to solve for its challenges. Give them a working knowledge of AI and you unlock something really, really powerful. Now I'm going to cover some of the new role concepts. These are by no means standardized and continue to evolve, but they represent where I am focused on in building teams. The AI business architect. Now this role acts as a translator between strategy and execution. But in the context of agentic AI, the role becomes even more pivotal. They don't just map how a business operates, they shape how it should evolve. They understand the end-to-end flow of value in an organization and can spot where AI agents might augment, automate, or even rethink entire processes. Think of them as the orchestrators of change, ensuring that AI isn't just applied, but applied intentionally, aligned to the business objectives, embedded in real workflows, and governed by measurable outcomes. So a business architect identifies where autonomy adds value and where it introduces risk, developing value cost models and designing guardrails around agent behavior to protect business integrity, building feedback loops so agents adapt to real world, not just the lab, and finally connecting AI outputs to outcomes like customer experience, cost savings, or compliance. They're not data scientists and they're not model engineers. They're the ones who ask, what does good look like here? And how do we make sure the agent delivers it? Next, the AI product manager. The product manager is a new evolution of a familiar role, part strategist, part technologist, part translator. Their job is to define what the agent is meant to do, why it matters, and how it fits into the bigger picture. They sit at the intersection of user needs, business value, and technical feasibility. Unlike traditional product managers, the AI product manager must account for non-deterministic behavior, shaping agents' objectives, constraints, and evaluation criteria, which is all really subjective. The AI product manager's responsibilities include defining the intent behind an agentic system and mapping that to clear objectives, working with the business and engineering teams to prioritize use cases, balancing experimentation with enterprise-grade expectations for safety, performance, and return on investment. Lastly, communicating with stakeholders about how and why the AI system makes decisions. This is a role for people who can connect user stories to agent capabilities and who can steer iterative development teams without rigid roadmaps. And importantly, they don't need to be traditional product managers, although that's one pathway. What matters is a deep understanding of the business combined with a solid grasp of what agentic and generative AI can do. Next, the AI evaluation lead. As agentic systems operate with more autonomy, it becomes critical to measure their alignment, effectiveness, and impact. That's where the evals lead comes in, a role that focuses on what the agent is doing. It blends quality assurance, product thinking, and long-term business engagement. But this isn't just classical QA. In a non-deterministic world, evaluation requires continual collaboration with users to define and refine what good looks like over a long period of time, not just a testing window. In this role, you're defining evaluation frameworks that go beyond accuracy to include usability, trust, safety, and business alignment, continuously monitoring agent behavior in real-world conditions, identifying edge cases, failure modes, and drift, collaborating with product, business, and engineering teams to close feedback loops and tune performance. It's not about just writing test cases. It's about creating living, dynamic measures that evolve as the system evolves. The evaluation lead is crucial in ensuring that agentic AI doesn't just exist, but that it performs, improves, and delivers over time. In summary, all these roles need to understand the business, the people, and the objectives. So where do you fit in? These are just some of the new roles emerging, and they're still evolving. As teams figure out how to build and run operating models with AI at the centre, there's space for many kinds of talent. So ask yourself, what industry knowledge or business process experience do you bring? How can I combine that with working understanding of AI to deliver long-term safe and meaningful value and build a rewarding career? You might already have more relevant skills than you realise. Or maybe you can see the path clearly now, a direction you can grow into. If you're in your early career, the opportunity is enormous. Don't see AI as a threat, see it as a reset. It's a chance to leap ahead. This shift is levelling the playing field. The people who adapt and learn with intention are already moving. Companies are quietly hiring people who understand how to work in this new way, people who are curious, targeted in what they learn, and focused on real-world outcomes. If you want to stand out in the AI era, don't just chase the tech. Understand the business and build those skills. That's where the opportunity is. So ask yourself, what business problem will you solve with AI? See you next time.